Welcome to Precious Gems with April Falcon, where it's all about empowering women to shine bright with faith-based plays to coach you off the sidelines and into success in your career and life. And now with her playbook, full of over 20 years of experience as a leader, preacher, and mentor in hand, to share business strategies with a sprinkle of inspiration, is your confidant, your sister friend, your coach, April Falcon.
Ladies, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the podcast for Precious Gems. And I'm so excited to be with you all today. I'm calling this a special edition because we're having a fireside chat talking about how you all are fighters and survivors with breast cancer. So I know this is going to bless a whole lot of women. I know your testimonies, your comments, the gems that you're going to be dropping are going to be off the chain that again is going to give God glory, but bless other women that may be going through, or it may even help those that may be helping a sister that's going through with breast cancer. Because as we know, these statistics are really becoming high where pretty much everyone knows someone who has breast cancer, right?
Yeah.
And I know in my family, it hit close to home with my cousin. My grandmother had it, and she raised me. My mother-in-law, so a lot of different women close to me have battled this disease. So we want to bring some awareness again to help. So we're going to start first by letting you all introduce yourselves so that everyone can get to know who you are. So Auntie Selina, we'll start with you first. Tell them who you are.
Good afternoon. My name is Selina Allen. I am the baby girl of Henry and Evelyn Thorns. I am the mother of Stephen, who is my gem.
All right now.
I thank God that I am a child of the King and that I know the Lord. I praise God that the year of 2012 makes me a 12-year cancer survivor.
Wow. Woo.
I was diagnosed in 2008.
Wow.
And God has been gracious, and it's been 12 years.
Wow. Wow. That's wonderful. 12 years fighting. I got the boxing gloves in the center because that's our symbol today because you all are fighters. Yes. All right, Cousin Michelle.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Michele Jones, and I too am a breast cancer survivor. I'm a mother. I'm a daughter, a child of God, and I'm also a registered nurse and certified case manager. So this hit very close to me because being a nurse, I take care of patients, but I had to get in the mindset to be a patient through this and not to be a medical person and to learn
good point.
To thrive and survive through this. So I was diagnosed actually, I've not yet hit my year mark. So I am so grateful and so thankful that I sit here today to even be able to sit on this panel, to be able to share some gems because it was rough. It was really rough, and it still has some rough times. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it doesn't. But I'm just grateful and thankful that I'm almost at my 1 year mark in December. December 19th.
Fighting a good fight.
Thriving and surviving.
Yeah. All right now. She said thriving and surviving. Can you get excited? That's a gem right there. All right, and now we'll have my mentee, Miss Glennis. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Glennis Armstrong. I am the baby of the bunch, I'll say. And I'm also a mother of 3 very interesting children.
We love your children.
I'm also a recent graduate of Morgan State University.
Yes.
I am also now a licensed social worker. But I also am a breast cancer survivor myself. I am a little over 2 years now.
Yes.
And God is just amazing.
Yes.
It still, even though it's almost a little over 2 years, it still feels like yesterday sometimes.
Wow.
But to see where I was and where God literally has brought me from and where I am today.
Yes.
Nobody but God. So I'm extremely grateful to even be here, to even have this kind of a conversation.
I know that's right.
Absolutely.
And make it clear that those accomplishments that you shared, you completed those while going through
Yes.
That's serious fighting right there.
That's right.
That's fighting. Yes.
Right.
So now we're gonna jump right in, and I'm going to just ask you guys a few questions. So again, to share about your experiences to help each other. So I guess the first question I have is, when and how were you diagnosed? You know, in other words, how did you find out? And I'm asking this question because I think it's important for people to hear how women are finding out that they have breast cancer, in the sense to help themselves and others. So I don't know who wants to jump in the ring first.
Well, I'll go first.
Okay.
How I actually found mine, one night I was going to bed and I turned over and my breast began to hurt.
Wow.
And I really didn't pay that much attention to it. But the next night, the same thing happened. I went in the bathroom and I did an exam and I found a lump.
Wow.
I called my doctor and it was on a Wednesday. I'll never forget it. And she said, I want to see you tomorrow. And her words to me were, I don't think it's cancer because it hurts. Most cancers don't hurt.
Interesting.
In the breast.
Yeah.
She said, but I'm going to do a biopsy anyway.
Right.
And when I went back to see her, she called me back in after the biopsy was done. And she called me back in and I was going to the examining room.
Yeah.
And she said, let's go in the office.
Oh.
I knew the answer right then.
Yeah.
I knew the answer. We went in her office and she said to me, Selina, I will never again tell a woman that it's not cancer because it hurts. Because yours is cancer.
Wow.
That's good.
Wow.
She said yours is
can't
cancer.
assume.
She said, I will never say that again. Because you proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Because yours actually was cancer.
Wow.
My biggest advice is to be your own advocate.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, I don't think so. Do a biopsy.
Yeah, that's true.
Examine.
Yeah,
Do what
get
you
the
need to
truth.
do to rest my mind.
Right. That's
Because if I had
people.
gone, if she had just gone by what she thought, it could have gone from the stage I was into stage 4.
Advanced quickly. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so that's actually how I found mine. I was actually turning over in the bed.
Good for you.
And when I hit the lump area, it began to hurt.
Wow.
And I'm glad that I did not procrastinate.
I was going to say,
I
good for
called
being in
my
tune
doctor.
with your body and not procrastinating.
I called my doctor.
Yeah. That's a gem.
That's how I
Not
found
procrastinating and being in tune with your body. If something doesn't feel right, you check it out.
That's exactly how I felt mine.
Yeah. Very good. Michelle.
I guess I'll go next. I actually did not find mine by a self-examination because I do mine every month, and I do express that is something that you should do. But I had my annual, which I have every year, and I am always called back because I have what we call dense breasts. So I'm always called back for a repeat. And so again, this year, which was last year, I was called back for a repeat, and I just thought that was the routine, but again, it was not. They saw a 7mm mass on this one, and so when I was called back for this, they also had to do a biopsy.
Okay.
And so when they did the biopsy came back. They told me it would not come back for 48 hours. It came back in
I remember
24.
Yeah.
You know, I called you hysterical in the parking lot.
Yes.
And it was found to be stage 1 inductive muscle.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, please, do your mammograms, do your self-exams, even if it's not found, because sometimes they are not found by self-exam.
Exactly. Exactly. So yes, prevention is key. And Glennis, how about you?
So I was actually waking up. It was about 6 something in the morning, just a regular day, getting my kids together for school. And I tend to get very hot at night sometimes.
Yeah.
So I don't really do the whole clothes thing really at night.
Yeah.
I don't feel too confined. It's hot. Flipping the blanket off.
Don't talk about hot flashes.
And so, and then I talk on the phone. Sometimes I forget the AirPod is in my ear.
Yeah.
And just kind of brushed up. My arm just brushed against it. I was like,
wow.
What is that?
Wow.
And in my mind, I thought it was my AirPod.
Yeah.
Turn the light on. I'm still half asleep. Turn the light on. I'm like, I don't see anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know what prompted me to feel my breast again. And I felt what was a lump.
Wow.
And because my children, especially my younger two, are so emotionally in tune with me, had I initially just started screaming like I wanted to, it would have set them off. And I didn't want to set them off going to school.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. I called my mother at least 7 to 8 times.
Wow.
Before I could say, Ma, listen, I need you to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Told her what I found. She said, Glennis, calm down. You need to call your doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ma, she's not going to answer the phone yet. It's not even 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But another really good friend of mine, Rochelle, we literally just celebrated her.
I remember.
Yeah. Maybe a week and a half.
Yeah.
Prior, we had just celebrated her.
Wow.
And I called her and she said, Glennis, get to me now.
Wow.
Dropped my kids off. I went straight to her. She literally walked me through the process. Called my doctor. My doctor said, Glennis, come in.
Wow.
I'm clearing my schedule. Come in.
Wow.
Went in. My doctor. So for me, because I was just 3 months into being 30.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna highlight. You're not the 40 and older.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
They say you gotta be 40 to get a mammogram.
Yeah.
I personally believe once a woman or a female goes through starting her period, she needs to be checked for that. Because cancer has no age limit.
I was gonna say, there's no age now.
It doesn't matter how old, how young.
Right. And it's getting younger. You're an example.
It is. And so I went to my doctor, and for me, I had to get an exam first. She examined me, and I don't think she intentionally meant to react the way that she did. She felt the lump, and her reaction was,
okay.
So because my nerves,
my
anxiety is already on the level,
yeah,
that just heightened it even more.
Wow.
And unfortunately for younger women, you don't have the luxury of just going to the doctor and they're immediately doing a biopsy.
Right.
I had to wait. I had to go to advanced radiology for them to do an ultrasound first to confirm what my doctor was referring me for.
Okay.
Once they saw and confirmed it, then I had to make another appointment to do a biopsy and then wait for them to tell me what my results were. So from President's Day 2020, I had to wait. It was about maybe five days or so.
Wow.
February 25th, I got the phone call.
Wow.
Like, Glennis, I need you to come in. And I already knew it.
Yeah.
And so
it's just a sixth sense.
It is.
It is. Yeah. It's so. I can't even describe it. Like I said, for me, it was not going to the examining room.
Right.
It was going to the office.
Yeah.
For you, her reaction.
Yeah.
Okay, and you just knowing. And I think sometimes, as much as we don't want to acknowledge it, God prepares us in advance by letting us know. Does it make it easier? No. Absolutely not.
Right.
But He gives us that cushion.
Yeah.
It's like a cushion that He gives us. That little bubble that He puts us in for a couple of minutes to talk to us, to let us know. You're going to walk through this.
Right.
Yep.
I'm not going to take you around it.
Right. You got to go through.
You've got to go through this one.
Yeah.
And he starts preparing your spirit even before you hear
and giving you the strength to do it. And I think that was my thing for Cousin Michelle was you're stronger than you realize you are. Just keep walking, right? That was the thing. So, and to that, did you go ahead, jump in.
And I needed that because, like I said in the beginning, I had to get out of that medical because I knew. I knew all the stages,
right?
I knew the stats,
right?
I knew the statistics, the prevention, but
you had to move from that.
Personally came to me, I didn't know anything.
Right.
I didn't know anything. And when afterward, I had to call you. I had to call Mom.
Right. You're like, so what?
And
Right.
you had to go from a point of knowledge to a point of faith.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And switch what you knew to what God could do. Right.
You had to go from knowledge to faith.
Yes. Immediately.
You had
just like that.
Just like that.
And honestly, I lost the faith too because I was angry.
Yeah.
Real angry.
You dropping gems, because I'm telling you, yes.
And this morning I was thinking about the subject and I was saying, God, help people to realize that when they get this diagnosis, I don't care if it's breast, I don't care if it's prostate, I don't care if it's colon, it's a death. Doesn't mean you're going to die
from it,
but it means that the uncertainty of it, the consistency of your life is all of a sudden boom,
change.
Everything changes. Your prayer life changes because for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, you can't pray. That's why it's so important to have a support team.
Exactly.
Because when you can't pray, people are praying for you. And people have to understand it's not the world's worst thing when you can't pray. It's not the world's worst thing when all you're doing is crying. It's not the world's worst thing when you sit there saying, God, am I going to die?
Right. And he wants you to be honest with him and ask those questions. So to your point on Selina, I think so many people, including myself, and I had to transition. Like we thought, like we couldn't ask God questions, and we couldn't let him know, like, God, I don't understand what you're doing. Yes, I trust you, but no, I don't understand right now. But because of that little bit of mustard seed faith that I have, I'm gonna put it in to trust you. So yes, to walk it out.
I heard someone say one time, it's a difference with asking God a question and questioning God. Right. When you ask the question, you're looking for an answer.
And a
when you question God, you're challenging His answer.
Like I believe the promises. I just don't understand what I see right now.
So it's a difference in asking a question and questioning.
Exactly.
God doesn't have a problem with you saying, why me?
He's a gentleman, right?
Why me?
Right.
Why this happened to me? Because in actuality, I was the first woman in my family to ever have breast cancer.
Wow.
My mother came from a family of 13. My father came from a family of 19. I had never heard up until this point that anybody had breast cancer.
And that's the case for a lot of women now. So to that point, and considering that most people did not have someone that had it before, Glennis, your age, all of that, and you mentioned Rochelle helped you, your girlfriend, but I guess specifically, how did you all push through to fight, to stay in the fight, right? Because mentally, you do have to change how you walk, talk, all of that. So can you all kind of speak to, what did you do to stay in the fight?
Well, the first thing I did, the first person that I called Pastor. And I told him. And he said something so profound to me that at the time didn't really sink in as much as it did as the days went on. He told me, I will support you to live.
Right.
But I will not support you to die.
Oh, wow, that's a gem.
That's a gem right
Support
there.
people to live, not
said,
to
as long
die.
as you've made up your mind you want to live,
that's a big gem.
I will support you.
Right.
But I will not support you if you've made up your mind you're not going to live.
Wow.
I called my mother and I told her. She said to me, God never revealed to me that I would bury any of my children.
Oh, right now.
And since he hasn't told me that, you're not going to die.
Wow. Wow. So walk it out. Fight it. And be a fighter.
Those two statements from those two people made a total difference for me. Were days hard? Absolutely. Were days difficult? Absolutely. But because I had been given those statements, and because of my son, my son he was 16 years old when I was diagnosed.
Wow. That's a lot.
My son held me. He rocked me. He fed me. He talked to my doctors. I remember one time I was so sick.
At 16.
At 16. I was
That's
so
a lot.
sick I could not eat anything. And he was on the phone with the doctor. And she told him, well, she needs to go get a prescription. He said she can't stop throwing up. She's not going anywhere to get anything. You're going to send whatever you're going to send to this house.
Yeah. Like, come with it, because she needs the help.
Okay. And the doctor actually told me when I went back, she said, I thought I was talking to a grown man.
Wow.
I had no idea that that young man was 16 years old. The way he spoke to me was not in a mean way, but he was not playing.
Yeah, he was direct.
Okay, he was not
a little
playing.
passive aggressive,
Okay.
like, we're going to help my mama today, right? Can't get excited.
Exactly. So those instances, and people just, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
That's-
You're going to be all right.
And, how
And
about
those
you,
are the things that helped me.
Well, I had a different fight. When I was diagnosed, it was around the holiday. So I had to, and it was around the time that my daughter was pregnant with my first grandbaby. And I was planning things like her baby shower, her delivery. And so I had to get in my mindset that I had to fight, for all of these plans that I had to be available for her delivery and just to be available. And so I had to get in that mindset that I was going to live,
Right.
and I was going to do what I had to do, to be available for my children. I was going through some other life event changes at the same time.
True. Yeah.
And so I had to get my village around me, which was a prayer group, a prayer support team, which consisted of my cousin, Elder April, and Mama here, and Glennis. And so that's what helped me, because I couldn't pray for myself.
Right.
So I had to journal.
Yeah. That's important. That's a gem.
I had
Journaling.
to sing.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't open the Bible.
Right.
But my fight was for me to be here for my grandbaby. And God made it possible. Even after I had surgery,
Yes.
I had sorority sisters that took me with my bandages and drove me to Philadelphia so that I could be there when she delivered. So that was my fight. And that was what made it possible.
Gave you a why.
Gave me a why.
To focus on.
To focus on.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
good.
So
That's a gem, having that focal point. Because God is always going to be our focal point, right?
Yeah.
But within that, you still need something else
I had to
that
have something.
keeps you going each
'cause
day.
I was in a dark place.
And surrounding yourself with the right people, right, who can speak life to you,
And I had that, and I'm so grateful.
And I don't mean to interject, but you sometimes you need two types of people, which may be in the same person.
Right.
You need that sympathetic ear.
Right.
But then you also need that person to say, step out of it.
Right.
Come on there.
Right.
You really
get
going
yourself together,
okay,
girl.
you really going off the rails.
Right.
Okay, you're taking your place, taking yourself into a place.
That's dangerous.
I hear what you're saying, and I hear you saying you're taking yourself into a place where you don't see your way out.
Yeah.
And everything that we've gone through, hope has gotten us out of.
Exactly. That's true. Glennis, what about you?
For me, I was in undergrad. If people really knew what it took for me to even get into school at 27,
oh, that's
this
true.
is 10 years after, you know, society says you should go to school.
Right.
But where I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
If y'all knew what it took for me to get into school, this is not going to stop me.
Right.
If anything, it gave me more fuel.
Yes.
Wow, that's good.
That's good.
Good gem. Another good gem. Yeah.
I worked so hard to get into school, and I was a part of so much. I was doing everything, so much so my kids felt like they were going to school too, because if I was going, they were going. If I was sitting in meetings, they were sitting in class, all of that. And it was just like, okay, wait a minute. Because I did go through that phase of, God, why me?
Yeah.
But the one thing this entire journey literally has taught me is that, Glennis, no matter what, no matter who, God literally always has you.
Yeah.
So I had to stop looking for validation.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Say it again.
Oh my God.
Help the women.
Like I really had to take myself out of self. I had to stop looking for validation from other people. And it's not more so like men versus women. No, people in general. Stop looking for someone to praise you for the things that you're doing. You're doing because that's what you want to do. This is where you're supposed to be. And so for me, it was like, not really why me, but God said, why not?
Wow.
I was at a place because I was doing so much. I was involved in so much. That I started to, the very things that I prayed for, I started to complain about. And I was like, God, I need a break. I will never forget. I used to be like, I just need a day. I just need a day where I can just rest.
Wow.
But mind you, when I got diagnosed, we were also hitting the beginning of a pandemic.
Yes.
So for me, God literally had to do something major. And what it was major wasn't me being diagnosed with breast cancer. It was that in addition to sitting me down in a moment where the world literally had to shut down. I had to be still. And
that's
really
good.
Focus and hone in on Him. I never felt like I was gonna die. Because again, we are growing to believe that when we are diagnosed with things, that it is
a death sentence.
We're gonna die. Not every sickness is unto
death.
No. Come on now.
And so I
Put
had
the word on
those
it.
group of people who would be, hey, Glennis, stop. I mean, it was. I would call on Selina, like in tears, and she wouldn't say nothing at first. She'd just and then she'd tell me stop.
Wow.
And she would. It was almost as if
good.
It was almost as if she was commanding my anxiety to stop.
Ooh,
because
that's good.
she could feel it.
I
mean, she would call Dr. Dennis, and then they'd switch the phone, and now I got one praying heaven down.
Wow.
Here comes Dr. Dennis.
That's support.
Praying heaven down.
Wow.
You got Mother Thorns in the back. But you hear her in the back, and it's just like, okay. And I would be like, okay, God. And if I've never heard God so clear in my life, He told me I wasn't going to die.
Come on.
But this was something that I had to go through. I had to go through this.
Wow.
There was no more going around it, going over it. Yeah. And I know it's cliche, you know, when we are in church and it's, well, God, I give you my yes.
Right.
I give you. No. This was one of those types of things where he's like, okay, you said it.
Right.
But I need your action to match
what
you
said.
said.
Come on now, that's a gem.
Wow. I just
let it line up now.
And I was like, okay. So because I knew that God, okay, I'm not gonna die. So it wasn't that I was gonna get through breast cancer. Glennis, this is the part where you have to sit still. You now have to allow other people to be there for you. You are there for everybody else. You pour yourself out to everybody else. But because I've been so conditioned because of things that have happened in my past, I don't allow people to be there for me. I'm independent. I'm an independent woman. Can't nobody. No, I had to literally lean on other people.
Wow.
And my son, my oldest, Naeem, he was 12.
Wow.
For my son to be that person. I had other people, I had other family who were there, but Naeem really went through this with me.
Wow.
Talia and Josiah, they didn't really understand
wholeheartedly
what was going on, other than, oh, well, mommy's sick.
Yeah.
It was different for Naeem.
Yeah, he understood.
So he had to adjust what he was doing, even at 12.
Wow.
And to watch him be there to open my medicine, to help me eat, help me sit up in the bed. It's those things that we as people, and it's not intentional, but we take the smallest things for granted.
That's true.
I had to have help to sit me up. I lost the use of my hands. I lost the use of my legs. He had to help me. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Humbling.
This is really serious.
Yeah.
But God did it. God is so strategic.
Yeah, that's true.
And he took me through it, not only the disease in itself, but a moment where I have really had to be still. Because now in that I learned more about
yourself.
Me.
Wow.
But I learned more.
2.0, I call it.
I learned more about who he is, and not just who he is, but who he is to me.
Yeah.
And so it really propelled me, that whole ordeal. Even now, I still every now and again have my moments, but it put me in a position to be where I am now, to still go through school and get 1 degree while I'm in active treatment. I'm in the cancer center with a laptop, books, and it's other people who are around, and they're like, you're giving me more push to keep going. And then to turn around and come out of school in 2021, to turn right back around in 2021 in August, to go back to school to get another degree, to keep going, and to keep going. It taught me that there's nothing that you cannot do.
Right.
God, when I say God has you, there's nothing that nobody can tell me.
Right.
Nothing. No doctor. No matter how bad this even was.
Right.
Then stage 2, I was borderline stage 3 because it was so aggressive. My treatments were aggressive. I went from I was almost 150 pounds.
Wow.
First round of treatment, I was down to 119.
Wow, from the first round.
From the very first round, because the treatment.
That's fighting.
So
aggressive,
aggressive. And I just would look at my children and look at what God. This is what I'm asking. You got me here to go through school. There's so much more that I want to do. There's so much more that I need to do.
Right.
And I got you.
Yeah.
But I need you to follow me.
Right.
And not follow me and then, all right, well, I'm going to let your hand go. No, it was stay, like the song says, stay with God.
Yeah, that's true.
We get so wrapped up in, well, God, I need your help.
Yeah.
And it's like, God never let your hand go.
Right.
You
got to do the work too.
You let his hand go.
Right.
And because you let his hand go, because you felt like, well, I can do this better, you end up doing more damage.
Yeah.
And so that's literally what I was being taught. Glennis, you've done You half the stuff you didn't have to go through.
Right.
You did that because you chose to walk away from me.
Right.
And so now it's like damage control.
Yeah.
Now I'm learning, Glennis. No, don't say that.
Yeah.
No, don't do that because God got you.
Right.
Let Him handle it.
But He had to demonstrate it first.
He had to do something major to get my complete attention, to align my yes with my actions.
Yeah.
That's
good.
You did some good.
Ooh, that was good.
That was good.
I don't know if people were ready for that, but you just blessed a whole lot of women because it shows that it's so much bigger than the diagnosis, right? It's the whole experience that comes with it, good, bad, or ugly, indifferent. But it's how God is growing you and walking, knowing you're still going to have the victory. But you got to follow God's lead, which is hard to do when you're going through because you're blurry, right? But it shows that if you stay focused on God, He will pull you through.
Absolutely.
And with that, I just want us to, I know the time is of the essence now, but what gem would you leave with other women who may be fighting or to help another woman who's trying to support another woman, right? Like I haven't personally been through it, but you know, what's a gem that could help someone like me help someone who's going through?
Well, I think since I'm probably the youngest of the diagnosis, since I've not hit my year.
1 year yet, yes.
I would say is you just allow yourself to go through every stage, every feeling, you know, that you're feeling. I found myself always, I don't want to say that I was justifying my feelings, but I felt like sometimes I had to justify why I was feeling angry. And I remember Mom Selina let me know that it was okay for me to be mad. And it was okay for me to be angry. And it was okay, you know, for me to question, like you said. But don't stay there.
Right.
Don't stay there.
That's the gem right there. Yes.
That's what I had to learn. And then again, like Glennis said, I'm one that I'm very private. You know, so I didn't want a whole lot of people to know what I was going through. You know, I knew how to wear the mask of, you know, I'm doing okay, I'm all right. And I had to take that mask off.
Yes, amen.
And I had to allow whoever wanted to help me and nurture me, I had to allow them to do that.
Exactly.
And so now I no longer wear it. If I'm not having a good day, I say I'm not having a good day. It is what it is. Right. If I don't want to take your call, I don't justify it and say, I didn't see the call. I just said I wasn't in a good mood that day. It wasn't a good day for me.
Right.
So do not feel like you have to justify your feelings. Not
and explain yourself to people.
Nasty to people
who have issues that you're justifying for. Right.
But just allow your village to nurture you. And just be grateful for the village that you have. And stay prayed up. It's not a day, now that I can pray, it's not a day that goes by that I don't get on my knees. It's not a day that I don't journal. It's not a day that I don't try to look at something that's motivational. You know, to help lift up my own spirits. I do affirmations every day for myself, you know, to tell myself I am enough. You know,
that's a gem. Come on.
Looking at, you know, whatever is going on.
You are enough.
I am enough.
That's good. Women need to hear that. Yes. And understand that.
Whoever's going through, you are enough. Whatever stage you're in, whatever treatment plan you're going through, it was made for you and you will get through it.
Yes. That's good.
I would say that because we are women of God, when you're talking to someone, ask the Lord what's going on with them. What do I need to say?
That's
to
a gem.
And you never have to stop talking to them on the phone. They don't even know you're praying at the same time. You know, but discernment is so important.
So important.
Because sometimes we see the outer layer of the scar.
Yeah.
But we don't know how deep that thing runs.
Yeah. Right. That's a gem.
And many times when we're going through things like this, it brings up other issues.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes. That's a big gem.
Yeah. It brings up other
realize.
It brings up other
and it puts
issues.
you in a tailspin.
And it's like, if I hadn't, if I shoulda, if I wish I coulda. It takes you through many things, you know, and what it makes you feel like is that you're open.
Yeah.
Okay. You just feel like you're wide open.
Yeah.
Because you figure if this can attack me and I don't know it,
yeah.
what else is coming?
Right.
Yeah.
That's good.
What else is coming?
Right.
Okay.
What's next? Yeah.
Right. Discernment.
Yeah. That's good.
And I would tell anybody, if you're dealing with the disease, if you're dealing with someone that's dealing with the disease, support is not essential. It's mandatory.
That's good. That's good. People do need to understand that.
It's mandatory.
Yeah.
Because a bucket will run over if you put enough water in it.
That's true. That's true. That's good. That's good.
You have to have a support system.
Right.
I'm not saying tell everybody your business.
Right.
That's not my agenda.
Right.
But there should be that person or those persons
right.
that you can
just go to and be yourself
and say what you need to say. Cry, scream,
with no shade
holler.
or judgment.
Exactly. Cry, scream, holler, do whatever you have to do. And you will find that after you do that, it's like, it's not so bad.
Yeah, it wasn't so bad. That's good.
It's okay.
That's good.
It's okay.
That's good.
But I did not reach out to support groups and things like that.
Right.
And I don't know how much of a difference that would have made for me, but I did have a support group.
Yeah.
Within my family, within my church family.
So you still had that, yeah.
And don't be upset when people don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's true. Because people just don't
because
know.
they just don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what I realized.
You know, because
they just don't know.
In church, people were like, they would look at me, and I mean, I've had people look at me just bust out when I was going through. Just look at me and bust out, go to crying.
Yeah, because they don't know what to do.
Because they don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, do I hug her? Do I say I'm sorry?
We really haven't
what do I do?
To know
we haven't, to know what to say and how to help people.
What do I do? What do I say
Some
to
things
her?
that's why it's good to talk about it. Because it's too much silence in our community.
Absolutely.
And people don't know how to respond.
Exactly.
They don't know what to say. And then they don't understand, like, there's a ministry of presence. Right? You don't just not bother with the person. No, just be present sometimes. Right. And that is huge.
Just enough.
You know? So I would just say support. Don't be, and another thing, don't be upset with yourself, as Michelle said. I'm re-emphasizing this.
Yeah.
Don't be upset with yourself.
Right.
When you don't feel spiritual.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Because we're human.
When you don't feel like, oh God, I'm not handling this right, or Lord, I'm not praying right, or you do. No.
With God, we have no shame, no judgment. Right? Just be who you are.
Don't feel that way. Don't put that weight on you.
Exactly.
When you're able to talk to the Lord, talk to the Lord.
Exactly.
Because believe it or not, time will come when that regular routine with the Lord will come back.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly.
And it will be like it's never been done.
Exactly.
You haven't missed a beat.
Exactly.
And he's not upset. He ain't gonna fall off the throne because you can talk to him that day.
Right. Yeah. How about you, Glennis?
I would just re-emphasizing what Selina said, support. But even with support, consistency.
Yeah.
Be consistent in your support, even if that means you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things like this can make you feel like you are alone. No matter how spiritual you may be, sometimes you just feel like you are alone. And even if you don't know what to say, like you said, just showing up, just even if you sat right here, I promise you, I'm content. But one thing I would definitely say, especially for younger women, because again, I was only 30.
Yeah.
And 1 out of every 2,100 women, African American women for that matter, the age of 30, will get breast cancer in their lifetime.
Wow.
And
that's huge.
And that's the thing, like, I didn't even know that.
That's a lot of people we know.
Right.
Exactly. That number.
And like the thing I would say, educate yourself.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I have no genetic tracing of breast cancer in my family at all.
Wow.
I am
the first one.
The one.
They're hitting on all my gems.
And
she said, "You touching all my gems."
I honestly, just educate yourself.
Yeah.
If you feel like something isn't right, go with it.
Exactly.
You gotta speak up about it.
Yeah.
Like Michelle said, advocate for yourself.
Because
you can't have somebody advocate for you about what you're feeling.
Yeah.
You can express and they can have an idea, but they don't
really know
what
and
it is
understand
that you're feeling.
Yeah.
But I would advocate for yourself.
That's good.
And for those who are being caretakers, just be patient.
Yeah, that's good.
Because it's a different time for not only the person going through, but it's a different time. It's an unknown time.
Yeah,
for everybody.
A different person going through it.
Yeah,
you know?
And so
unapologetically different.
And it's not intentional.
Right.
I'm reacting off of what I'm feeling right now
at that
because
moment.
This is what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
Right. It's
not personal.
Yeah.
You know, as a caregiver, sometimes you just have to say,
it's not about me.
It's not about me. It's not personal.
Yeah.
I have to be able to allow them to go through what they're going through, say what they need to say. But they're not attacking me.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like I did it.
Right.
But this is just for like I teach my children and even my students. For every cause, there's an effect.
Yes.
So because you didn't give this to me, however, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
So because I feel this, the effect of it is this is what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be jumping for joy because I have to go through chemo. Sometimes chemo really will weigh you down.
Yeah.
It is very, very hard.
Yeah, that's
on anybody, especially for something that you've never had to endure ever.
That strong hits on your body. And that's like somebody using a boxing glove on your body.
As I told somebody one day, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I hated chemo.
Yeah.
I actually hated it.
Yeah.
Because I would take it on Monday. By Wednesday, I was so sick.
Yeah.
All I could eat was saltine crackers and drink ginger ale.
Yeah.
That lasted till about Saturday. I could go to church on Sunday.
And like trying to do life at the same
time. Right.
Yeah.
And I would go to church on Sunday and start all over again Monday.
Yeah.
Start all over again. Chemo was horrible for me. I mean,
it's poison, isn't it?
Pretty much.
It was absolutely horrible for me. So every time I would get ready to go take chemo, I would just go down. Because I knew what the effect was going to be.
Go down, then you gotta come up, then go right back. It's like
so it was a 5.5 month yo-yo
valleys,
for me.
Mountaintop, back down. Yeah, that's a lot. Mentally, that's a lot.
So you have to recognize what your triggers are.
Yeah.
My trigger was actually knowing on Sunday night that you
had to go back
on Monday and get chemo.
Yeah.
So I had to deal with it a little bit differently. I had to begin to tell myself, God, you're saving my life through this. I know your healing hand is touching me, but this is a part of my healing. So I've got to learn how to accept it and not be so angry. I was angry that I had to take chemo because it made me so sick.
And I can only empathize with that because I didn't have to have chemo, I had to have radiation.
Right.
So that too was, a toxin to my body. I had to look at, what it did to my breast. It tired your body out, and I still worked through it. I went right after I had my treatment, right back to taking care of patients. So it was really exhausting.
But trying to do life
and still do treatment. And then to still be on a hormone every day and the side effects of that is,
and other medications that you may need to take.
So, but God.
Yeah, but God. That's the big gem. Yes, or as my grandmother would say when she was going through, she said, they say I have the big C, but I want you all to know I got the big G. Yes, got the big G.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes, got the big G. With that, leave us with some gems, Michele, from a nurse's perspective that could help women.
Okay. Well, pretty much it's been touched on. I think you all have gotten into the medical realm.
Yeah.
But I was going to leave
Good research.
That's right. Of just being your own self-advocate. First of all, it starts with prevention. Please, 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 women, just take care of your temple, which is your body. Making sure that you are mainly doing healthy lifestyles, taking care of your weight, watching your alcohol intake, but that's mainly just self-prevention, just doing your self-breast exams, your mammograms annually, and if you are not 40, if you have any family history, and if you don't even know your family history, just it will behoove you to ask your primary care providers to ask them to do a BRCA1 and a BRCA2.
Yeah, that's good.
Sometimes there is a cost involved, but the cost of your life is
it's worth it.
It's
worth it. Yeah.
There is a racial disparity in our health, in our community, as far as being a minority. So we are sometimes dismissed. So when you have ailments and concerns about your bodies, we are sometimes pushed and shoved to the side. So again, if you feel like there is something going on in your body and no one is listening to you, you have the right to have a second opinion.
Right, that's true. That's good.
To someone else someone is not listening to you.
Yeah.
So just be sure that you are being your self-advocate. If you are diagnosed, you need to do the education about your stages, your treatment options, making sure that you are comfortable with whatever team you decide to go with. Just be sure that you are comfortable with that team so that you are in a treatment plan that you feel like you are fighting and thriving with.
Yeah, love it.
That is
great gems.
With you. And just make sure that you would have this village that you also have
that's important.
For support, prayer. Your prayer life is going to be, and if you are into a church or fellowship, just make sure that you just have some type of journaling that you can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good.
That will help as well. But just fight.
Fight the good fight. Yes.
Absolutely. I did want to leave some information. If you are not insured, there are free mammograms. Do not feel like that you cannot have a mammogram, especially at this month in October. You can always find free screenings.
Yes.
I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and we do have free mammograms through a van that goes around in areas. So you can always look on our website. You can always just pull up on the website for free mammograms, and they are through LifeBridge. They're through all healthcare providers.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. That was great gems right there. And ladies, I have thoroughly enjoyed our chat. I'm so grateful that you all took the time to come into my home so we can have a fireside chat. Yes, making it just exciting and informative. I know for myself, I personally learned a lot from each one of you. So I just appreciate your openness and your willingness to share and help other women by being transparent, with your experiences. And I see a future chat, maybe a break-off, and maybe with some more women. Again, because, not only because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's 1 month, but many women are living with this, so many women, I should say, are living with this every single day. So it's our jobs not to be silent, but to be open and transparent so that we can help other women in the kingdom be all that God has called them to be.
And we
Can you get excited?
You. We appreciate
thank you.
Because you're giving us the opportunity to be scriptural. The word says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of the testimony.
Yes.
We're able to give our testimonies. To help other people. You know, and we don't want this just to be locked into women.
Right.
Men get breast cancer too.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. We don't want it just to be a female type thing.
Right.
We thank you for the opportunity to come into your home. We thank you for the opportunity to give us the chance to be able to say all that we've been through. We can still say God is good.
Yes, He gets the glory. God did it. Yes, He made you fighters. That's why I have those gloves there. He made you a fighter. So the key is keep on fighting.
Exactly.
Yes, keep on fighting. So it's been wonderful with our chat. Thank you.
You're listening to Precious Gems with April Falcon. Be sure to join us on the first and third Thursday of every month for more faith-based business tips. We'd love for you to grow with us. Share this podcast and follow us on Instagram at Just Precious Gems or Facebook at Precious Gems with April Falcon. You can also visit our website at www.justpreciousgems.com.